I'm home! I'm back from committing war crimes. And why does my very convenient cheating detector say that there's another man in this very house at this very moment? What the heck? Is there someone in that closet, honey? I swear, there's no one in there. Please, please just don't check the closet. That's it, I'm checking the goddamn closet, you freaking whore! Oh, there's just random skeletons in that closet. How strange, but at least I'm not getting cheated on. Wait, who the fuck is that? Is that Donald freaking Trump? Am I getting cheated on by fucking Trump of all people?
Why, yes, and you are getting cheated on by the greatest president of all time. As I would like to say, you should have grabbed her by the pussy to avoid all of this.
Hi, honey. I'm home from doing drone strikes with Obama.
I swear to God, this is going to be a long day. For those who have been following VTuber dramas or corporations, you may have heard of this American VTuber company called VShojo, or VShojo as I would like to refer to them. I'm kidding. VTuber companies have always been known for their strict rules upon their talents. But what happens if you give them total talent freedom? In this first episode of my VShojo documentary, we are going to talk about Apricot Froot's shady past and how she ended up being one of the most problematic or maybe even political figures when it comes to the VTuber genre. I'll be using screenshots from a bunch of different sources and my own recordings, so you the viewer will be well aware that none of it was Photoshop or fake. Now, without further ado, whoop-de-doo, let's start from the beginning, shall we? Apricot Froot, or previously known by her Discord alias BSApricot or Danielle, is a British VTuber who started her online career by doing digital art commissions and by having a 4chan military-esque custom patchwork store with her previous husband on Facebook and 4chan or Commando. Their old business was called Apricot and Sinks Patchworks. Froot has a knack for drawing and cosplay, which is currently showing up a lot in her VTuber era. She enjoys drawing on streams or doing artwork for other members of VShojo, and she did a face reveal since she enjoys taking pics or wearing costumes for her followers or people on Discord. Her ex-husband's online alias is Desynchronizer. Not much is known about him due to privacy reasons. All we know is he was a tanker for the American military, and he knows how to make patches due to previous partnership or business. Froot is an artist, and her husband worked on the patches. Desync was being deployed by the military, while Froot was being terminally online. Another important figure in Froot's life that's also related to her online work is her mom. Like, seriously, her own mommy likes to defend her on Twitter whenever she gets into drama. I don't even know what to fucking say. Relating to her patchwork business with her ex-husband, they had some issues with it. They were never able to ship out orders of their military anime patches. Some were able to get refunds and some weren't. While all of this was happening, Froot wasn't actually helping with her husband's business. Oh no, she was cheating on him while he was deployed to Afghanistan. In early 2018, she had an affair with two of her patch co-workers. There are rumors circulating around Twitter that there were 5 guys she cheated on, but that's a false statement according to one of the people she cheated on.
I don't know this thing about, oh, there were 5 people. Nah, it's all bullshit. It was literally just me and a dude named Busy. She strung me along, and when she was done with me and I outed her, you know, she cast me to the curb and, you know, played the, oh, he was just a stalker. There was nothing between us. That one time that, you know, he and I got intimate in those Discord DMs, that was just me being drunk. And I have the screenshots of when I gave him basically his Jody letter.
Okay, new information. There are probably 5 guys because someone leaked Froot's nudes. But Sina and the other person he was talking about in the video aren't sure on who leaked it. Going back to the story, Froot apparently outed Sina for just being a stalker, so he retaliated by posting these screenshots of the affair, which might also be the reason why her nudes have been leaked by someone else. Not Sina, but by someone else. Keep in mind that he was really devastated over the situation because from his previous knowledge, Froot said the relationship with her husband wasn't healthy or they weren't a thing anymore by the time Froot and one of her patch co-workers started flirting, when in reality, her husband was currently deployed in Afghanistan. Here are the leaked DMs from one of the men she cheated on. I was thinking about you. I just finished and my back and legs keep twitching. I was thinking about you as well, lol. Yeah, I'm just having the usual aftermath muscle spasm. I can't help my feelings towards you. Holy shit, I miss feeling this good. Me too. Oof. Yes, ma'am. As much as I wanted, I'm too tired to do it. Gotta go to bed and dream about someone fucking me to sleep. Aw, okay. Quote unquote someone. I'm gonna keep going. Oh, CX. Haven't finished, eh? It wouldn't take this long if I was in charge. Anyway, good night. Oof, yeah, I'll just be feeling good. Oh, fuck. Good night, cutie. I mean, if so, why not just tell me? Just, I've been strung along this whole time. 1, I wasn't in a relationship when we were closer, and he decided to take me back. And as shitty as it is, I've been prepared to see how things go if I met him in person again. It's hard to let go of something people tell me to let go of. Next, is it pushing me down mentally? Yeah. Is it causing me to be depressed? Yeah. Is it ridding all self-esteem I had for myself? Yeah. But just the thought of losing them hurts too much. After all of that, here is what Sinalsticks, one of her previous partners, said about the situation in a thread. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, Chief. I don't believe in the whole leaking nudes for revenge thing or for much of any reason at that. And I don't know where this whole rap or news came from that there were nudes of her out there. Despite my K days being long behind me, I never once saw anything posted or leaked. And I was on talking terms with her husband and know for a fact he never leaked anything. It's just people's wishful thinking in my opinion, so don't wear yourself out trying to find what isn't there. Also, for future reference, I don't think asking someone for the nudes of the person that hurt them is a smart idea usually. I say that respectfully because I'd usually tell you to go kick rocks. Now, I could sit here and correct a lot of things that have been said and even add more proof, but the drama has run its course, and for my sanity, it needs to be buried. She swept this under the rug, and though I didn't have the luxury to do the same, I handled the drama poorly. But, as I said above, trying to go anywhere with any of this proof will go nowhere, as I have seen on VT and many other places. People either don't care understandably or come up with the most absurd reasons to defend her, despite only knowing of her existence as a VTuber. It's a private matter at the end of the day, and it should have stayed that way. Though, I am to blame for not doing a better job of choosing who I showed my proof to. Was just eager to defend myself against a bigger person who had a lot more pull than me, I suppose. I won't lie, but there was a time I would have loved to see people give her shit and potentially cancel her, but I'm well past that. It just ain't healthy. The only thing I will add about Froot, because it isn't drama involving me, is that she did screw over a friend of mine who runs a patch shop. Made him wait 2 years for a tacky design, only to one day ban him from her Discord without notice, block him, then refund him because, as she said, I wasn't charging enough at the time. Sure, he got his money back, but he waited 2 years and had to cancel a design that was previously promised to potential buyers. Alright, in my opinion, before we continue this, I feel like, yeah, this dude, Sino, he seems nice, but the thing is, if something is like right, I suppose, you gotta like shed some light into it or try to bring like justice. Like, that's just how I see things. I don't wanna leave things in the dark or let the wrong people be at the top, if you get what I'm saying. Her ex-husband, who had a public social media fight or divorce with her, also had a couple of things to say about the situation.
Huh? Baba Booey.
Oh, he was just a stalker. There was nothing between us. There was nothing between us.
Oh, that's interesting. Thinking emoji. I still never expected to see the simp population have a few people who don't have their head up their ass. Too bad they weren't there when she had left me. What a wonderful place the internet is. At Weeboo Operator. Yeah, I was kinda surprised. Woke up for work and saw this on my regular feed. I think it's been about 5 years since it happened, so I'm over it now. No one believed me back then when I spoke about it, so these memes make me laugh, but all the same, it reminds me, I'm still bitter about the whole thing. After all, no one gets married to get divorced. It's kind of funny though, the drama went international. Elamau? After that chapter of Fruit's life, you'd think she'll have a change of heart or become better, right? We may never know for certain if she did change, but after her rebrand and VTuber debut on the 27th of November 2020, she got into more controversies, and some of her previous friends who I got connections with ended up stating that they don't like or feel like she changed as a person at all. Speaking of controversies, we are going to dive deeper into her history, so strap on, ladies and gents. Hogwarts Legacy, a Harry Potter game released on February of this year, was basically, for the lack of a better term, ass blasted by Twitter users left and right due to it being a, well, Harry Potter game. What's the problem of Harry Potter, you may ask, other than British people like fruit? Well, the creator of the series, J.K. Rowling, is a TERF, and a lot of Twitter users took offense to that, even though J.K. Rowling had nothing to do with the game itself. On the 11th of February, one of VShojo's former members, Silvervale, decided to play the game on stream without any ill intentions. Keep that in mind. But she got bullied by Twitch chat and Twitter for playing the game. Now, you may be asking yourself, what does Fruit have to do with this situation? First, let's talk about how VShojo management didn't do anything about the bullying situation for one of their talents. And to add more fuel to the fire, Fruit had this to say about the stream. I love all of my friends. Everyone makes mistakes. It's only human. Bruh. Imagine being Silvervale and one of your supposed friends that you haven't talked to outside of work for months pops up into your stream chat just to make a snarky remark.
Things are not always what they seem on the internet or as a streamer. When someone says that they talk a lot, they probably actually don't talk a lot. I think a friend is someone that talks to you more than when it is convenient from a business standpoint, and talks to you more than once every 6 months. Are you and Mousy still friends? I don't know, man. What is a friend? Is it someone that doesn't talk to you for 7 months? I don't know.
And oh, that's just a tip of the iceberg of the Harry Potter situation. On the 16th of February, Fruit made a tweet about donating $1 for every like that she gets to the LGBT organization called Mermaids. The UK organization is about advocating for trans youth, which is why it's connected to the Harry Potter situation. And on the next day, the 17th of February, Fruit made a tweet about her twin brother, meaning the world to her, and wanting to support mermaids because of him. That should be nice and all. Trans rights, right? Well, we can take a better look at her true nature thanks to her messages in this Discord server that she was previously in. An associate of mine invited me to one of the servers so I can see the evidence for myself. And these other archive conversation screenshots from other people. Oh wait, the wrong screenshot. She just said a cringe meme here. Aha! There we go. As you can see, she clearly made fun of trans people, especially her own brother that she quote-unquote supports. Other than her dropping trans slurs left and right, she also publicly said or dropped the N-word with a hard R on this still available YouTube video.
This is what sums up our entire existence right here.
There's the possibility that she changed for the better, but people online and some of her previous fans have been bringing that old situation up. My 2 cents is she needs to get some balls and apologize and not just make her Twitter account private every time a tweet about one of her fuck-ups blows out of proportion or lock the tweet replies. Anyways, to continue this part of the video, I think the situation doesn't get worse from here, right? I'm sorry, but I am not done with you yet, BSApricot Froot. Mermaids, the LGBT/trans affirming organization Fruit specifically picked, has been linked to pedophilia in the past, is clearly incompetent as an organization for having a massive data breach in June of 2019, where information of trans children got out, which is obviously a dangerous thing to happen. And they also apparently trained children who are gender non-conforming, tomboys as an example, to be transgender. Mermaids tried to dispute the claim, but later on, the Department of Education removed them from its mental health and well-being resources for schools, which is just a massive red flag. Again, trans rights and all, but Froot could have picked literally any other trans-affirming organization with less red flags. And last but not least, we got the Nux Taku drama. For brevity's sake, he, along with the VShojo talent members, became targets in a doxing attempt. Luckily, through coordination with management, they were able to resolve this legally and peacefully. Nux Taku afterwards made a video on what he did, proud of their accomplishment. However, the VShojo members did not approve of this video, since it apparently harms the talents by bringing attention to the doxer. One of these, I can't take it anymore, quote-unquote talents was Froot, requesting Nux to take the video down because of said reasons. Tune in next episode or upload as we delve deeper into Nux Taku's controversy with VShojo, and how Froot had to end up apologizing to him. You'll see why. Overall, BSApricot, or Froot for short, is a very problematic individual in both her real life and online career. Her actions affect everyone around her and can be used as a mirror or reflection on how incompetent of a talent company VShojo can be when it comes to their talents. Froot showcasing the worst of the worst in my humble opinion when it comes to them. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like the video, and I hope to see you in the next episode of this VShojo documentary series, where we will talk about what happened to Nux Taku and of course, VShojo. Bye-bye! On a side note, who the fuck is this bitch? Like seriously, she looks like me but purple. Fucking Okay, before we proceed with the outro, here's an interview call with one of Froot's former friends. He's a guy who currently seems to be pretty close to Froot's previous love interest. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and now, play that interview. Alright, can you first introduce yourself and who Sina is?
Let's see here. Without exposing myself, pretty much, I guess refer to me as S.
Alright.
I guess that works. And then, I mean, Sina is obviously, he's the person in the screen caps from the leaked messages, because, you know, he leaked them himself and all that. He is one of my good friends, and obviously, I know what happened between him and Froot.
Alright, can you, tell me or us what's, your connection and Sina's connection with Froot?
Well, Apricot, before she became Froot, used to be inside of my good friend's Discord server, and she frequented voice chat and all that. Was pretty buddy, and even did custom server stuff for Facebook page stuff, really, for my friend. Pretty much on good terms with everyone around that point. Sina is used to be at that time was a mutual friend through a bunch of other connections that we have. One of the people who currently, and as far as I know, still actively mods for her chat used to be one of our mutual friends, as well as a couple of others. But she is pretty much just an old acquaintance, if you would.
Oh, okay. So was the friend you were talking about her ex-husband, or no? You know her ex-husband? What?
Yeah, Desynchronizer. Desynchronizer is her ex-husband. He used to run a patch work, your morale patches and stuff for you put on Velcro and all that, or his Facebook page, pretty much. He wasn't in TLA, which is my friend's server, as much as he was in PK's server. PK is the other big server that this is all part of, and Sina is a part of that server as well as Desync. And it was kind of effectively the 4chan era of 2014 to 2018 is roughly basically what this group is.
Oh, so it's were those two groups intertwined, or those two groups were completely separate from each other?
No, they're pretty intertwined. The Weeb Shit K groups and I'll call it the Facebook weeb section, because it's like everyone fucking knew each other back in like 2014. It seems like they're pretty intertwined, so everyone either knew each other or knew of each other or had connections with each other pretty much.
So, how did the Fruit even join those two groups? Like, I'm really curious about it. How did she even, like, got into contact with you guys?
Oh, that's actually pretty simple. I mean, she was a pretty small Facebook page at the time and was unironically a fan of my friend's page. She joined the server and would post her artworks there, which I believe you're inside of it, so you can see like some of the artwork she would post on there and all that. She would advertise her Facebook group page as well there. As for PK server in the K group, she actively was on 4chanK quite a bit. You know, because that's like the whole like gun section and all that. She was pretty interested in it. That's why she was drawing like back then quite heavily into the girls frontline stuff.
Alright, so what was your experience with the Fruit?
For the most part, it was pretty tame. I was aware that she was pretty flirtatious with some of my friends, especially in voice chat. I mean, you've seen her messages. She acts like your average e-girl, if you would. It started getting a little bit, you know, more consistent when she started posting her cosplays on Facebook. I would say it was just like your standard interactions. You don't really pay much mind to it. We kind of treated her like a bro for the most part, but I mean, from what I understand, a couple of my friends, especially like one of my friends who I'm not going to name, I can show you the DMs though. He actively was flirting with her, and I believe this was around the time that she was together before married to Desynchronizer.
But she was still with Desync, right?
Yeah, I believe they were together at that
What
time. If I match up the time frames here.
Can you show me the screenshots? I want to see how tame it is, if that makes sense.
So I don't have the screenshots between them, but I have his word. I believe this guy because he's not one person to lie. Of course, take it with a grain of salt because this is coming from, you know, you can't verify this yourself without first-person screenshots, but he removed her after this whole fucking situation, so I don't blame him.
I mean, I can believe your word after some of the stuff I've seen in that server.
I mean, I can only, you know, say as much as I can without
because
saying
privacy,
too much.
I know. Connecting to what you said earlier with how flirtatious she was, were there like any red flags or warning signs about her when she was your friend or in the friend group?
I gotta be honest, it was really hard to kind of pick up on any red flags because you gotta, well, it's hard to pick up on red flags in general. You know, men. But looking back, I will say hindsight is 2020. I would say the red flags were rather than the way she was acting, it's rather the way people interacted with her. That's really it. You know, it's one of those situations where, you know, you got
the dudes are simping?
Yeah, you got Coomer Brains dudes that are simping pretty hard. It makes sense when you think about it, I guess. But I guess she
Took
played into that for their...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole point of this, that she took advantage of people.
I mean, it's still pretty fucksy to do it while married. Bruh.
Oh, yeah, no, she didn't stop. That's the problem, is that she
Like-
would do it. As far as I know, she was like this before Desync, because I believe they met through PK's Discord, or it was something similar. I can't remember if they met like that or if it was the con, because they would go to conventions and stuff.
Like, in all honesty, I wouldn't mind her whoring herself out if she was, like, single at the time. If you, like, you get it? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm actually in the same boat here. I really do not give a shit what you do with yourself or how bad you are if you're not affecting someone else in a fucking negative way.
What did you
Alright.
think of her when you first met her, and what do you think of her now?
When I first met her, I thought she was pretty cool. This was around the time that I think I was starting my first art craze, if you would, where I was trying to draw. She used to be one of the sources of inspiration for me to continue trying. I had always looked up to her art. I thought it was great. And then now I cannot stand her. I actually go out of my way to actively do not recommend channels, do not recommend clips, block any mention of her. It actually it physically bothers me to know that this person is getting away with effectively one of the worst things that you can do to a human being in terms of trust. Get away with it, and people buy into the bullshit that, oh, it's not real. To add on to that, of course, too, this isn't the only thing that bothers me about it. It's also like the whole after they broke up, after they divorced, the patch sales that she never, as far as I am aware, never refunded those that purchased those patches, never fulfilled orders, and actively gaslit Cinna in the process of, you know, this guy's fake.
Okay, so how do you feel, or what do you think is like the reason? Just give me your thoughts on the fact that people are defending her online when, number one, she cheated on like your friends, number two, gaslit your friends, number three, yeah, she also, well, has like some public drama involving her.
Hey.
People are covering it up. The mermaids thing and the Nooks Taco thing. Like, what are your thoughts on it that people are actively defending her?
So at
or covering
first,
it up?
I wouldn't say covering it up as much as they're denying and in denial. It's probably one of my favorite things, though, is that after watching, effectively, people discover over I think it's the last year, ever since the selfie incident, if you remember that.
What, her doing a face reveal?
Yeah, the quote-unquote face reveal, and I would actively go online and say, you know, guys, she's not revealing anything. She's been tied to her BSApricot account the entire time. She publicly made a Facebook post on BSApricot on her Facebook page saying, hey guys, I'm gonna be a VTuber. Here's my model. I'm gonna be Froot. Literally, like, linking everything to her new Twitch.
I saw something on your fucking like Discord server where she was like, oh, here's a video of me doing a face rig test with my VTuber model. Bro, I tried accessing the link because I wanted to comment something funny so bad, but I can't access it.
It's so good too, and it's even better because like there are people who, you know, you got upset about the whole VTuber, like, you know, VTubers need to keep their faces hidden. It's like, dude, she's never kept it hidden. She's been posting cosplays for years. I don't know why everyone's acting like this is a big deal, but ever since that point, right, people slowly began to discover her past because it was around that time that Cinna basically got vocal about it again. And the way I met Cinna was pretty funny because, you know, I knew of him and he kind of knew of me through friends, but we never, you know, personally connected as much. I was talking about how much of a shitty person she was in another VTubers Discord that I won't name because I don't want her to have flack for this. But basically, he messaged me and was like, "Hey, wait a second, you know her and all this other shit." And then we started talking, and he was like, "Yeah, man." Then we told each other everything about what we knew, and we had a good laugh about it, bonded, and, you know, we're pretty good, damn good friends now. But at that point, it was basically downhill. I think it's like a 50-50 ratio of this point of people who know and people who don't know, of basically VTubers and people who interact in that community that know of her fucking shitty past.
I mean, to be honest, it's kind of sad that the people, or I guess simps or VTuber fans or idol fans, get mad when a VTuber has a boyfriend or has a husband, those Japanese idols, but a lot of people don't really give a shit about, I guess, the Froot thing. Bruh.
It's funny too because I think a lot of people would be upset to realize that she has a boyfriend as well right now who just recently joined Hollow Stars. Like,
wait, what?
If you don't know about that, there's Commander Chaos who quit VTubing and joined Hollow Stars under the pseudonym of fuck if I remember, because I actively blocked that part out of my mind.
Don't mind the keyboard. Don't mind the keyboard.
And and if you remember the post where she was talking about betrayal and people roasted her about it, it was because I think she tried to get a fucking collaboration between her and other HoloLive members, and he, like, straight up denied it. That's the current theory going on. I believe it.
Wait, so are they, like, a thing or no? Because he denied it.
No, it's a thing, and the reason why we know it's a thing is because he posted on his private Facebook account a picture of them together.
Oh, bro.
I might be able to get you that picture, but it's real. They haven't broken up as far as I know.
Alright, another question. Are you sure that the people aren't actively covering up? I mean, you got VShojo, who definitely knows it, I think. And you also got those VTuber news or drama people, the big ones, not the small ones like me, the big ones like Hero Hey, that motherfucker, who I feel like knows a bunch of shit because of, his informant. Or
I will be very honest. I don't think it's more of a cover-up. I definitely feel like it's more of they're too scared to cover this topic because it's a gray area, if you would. When that one drama tuber, if you would, I can't remember his fucking username, but
that motherfucker you hate. Is that?
Yeah, that dude was he's not very smart about things.
I think his name was like Cats Productions or something.
Yeah, that's it. The way he went about it without censoring names and PII, basically, personal identifying information and all that, basically led him to getting a fucking lawsuit handed to him from VShojo.
I mean, the thing is, with the lawsuit, I've heard of that news before, and even if they go through with the lawsuit, the motherfuckers in court are just gonna go, "Are you fucking Fruit?" Like, bruh, a lawsuit is not gonna go just because it's public info. Like, a lot of it is public info. They're just gonna waste a lot. Yeah, they're just gonna waste a bunch of fucking money and time on it. They're not gonna. They're just gonna go through with a lawsuit that they're not even gonna win. That's the thing, bruh.
Oh yeah.
That's like my only argument on why I think it's like a cover up. That and they're too much of a puss to like do it, especially Hero. Hey.
I definitely feel like it's a puss move is all it is. That and less of a cover up and more of a I don't want to lose my chance to do a collaboration with them.
That's it. That's
yeah,
kind of sad
unfortunately,
though.
VShojo. What?
I said that's kind of sad that the VTuber, I guess, people kind of just try to have like this big circle jerk of sucking each other's cocks.
Yeah, unless your face connect.
Pipkin Pippa. Unless you're Pipkin Pippa, because she's like the only important motherfucker there. I'm so sorry for saying that, but yeah, she's like the only important motherfucker
shit about
there.
Tenma.
Speaking of e-celebs, how's this experience affected your view on relationships, trust, and e-celebs, considering Fruit is one?
So here's the thing, right? I have a weird number of connections with different e-celebs. I have never viewed them as like putting someone on a pedestal, if you would, as much as I view them as a person behind the scenes. Yeah, sure. When it comes to VTubers, especially, it's like, oh yeah, I love the character that's being portrayed. I don't really give a shit what the person does behind the character. Point in case for me would be like, Mio from Hololive. I don't care what the person behind it is, even though I probably know more than I should. But it's like, yeah, I love her character. It's great. I love the character design. But when it comes to someone like I know personally, that I know what they did specifically that was beyond something that should be allowed, it's one of those cases of yeah, maybe this person probably shouldn't have the platform they do. They don't have good intentions for others. Why should they have any kind of public voice?
I want to know how, I guess, Sina or the other people in the friend group will feel about relationships now and e-celebs, since they were also connected to it, especially Sina, to like the Fruit situation.
Sina's actually in the same boat as me when it comes to e-celebs, about knowing people. When it comes to a lot of these VTubers, right, whether they're popular right now or they're pretty big indies, when I was mentioning the K group / the 2014 Weeb Facebook clique, if you would, basically a lot of those people, like a lot of these people come from those areas, not just like K, but like, but mostly like social media in those small little niche weird groups. So there are other people that that he would know, that I know, that we both know. There's also especially with my other friends too, because my good friend who runs that server, he has a fairly popular Facebook page, and before the first nuke and he stopped being active on it, he had, I think it was like 125k likes. So he had a pretty big Facebook page, and in turn the Discord server got pretty big, and of course it would attract relatively popular creators.
I do feel like a lot of I guess current big VTubers or streamers in general, or just online celebrities, came from Facebook. Look at Belle Delphine, bruh.
Yeah, that's definitely a point in case thing there. Sina, he has moved on. He luckily has a very wonderful girlfriend that has been taking care of him pretty well. She helped him with the fallout of this aftermath effectively, as well as witnessing some of these events from happening post incident between the two. I won't go into detail, but she's been doing a really good job for him, as well as my other friends. It was more of a, they treated her in the sense of, especially that one friend that I was talking about that tried to hook up with her, more of a missed opportunity, if you would, if you know what I mean by that.
Missed opportunity?
Yeah, missed opportunity. I'm not really good at trying to put words into this, to be honest. From the way he talks about it, it's just one of those things of like, oh yeah, this happened. Oh well,
Oh well, she's a whore, something like that. Kind
of. It's more funny that a lot of the people, like, after the fact they found out, basically were like, oh, this makes sense. Like my other friend who was active in that Discord that I just showed you, that like literally 4 days ago discovered that Froot was BSApricot because he just doesn't like VTubers.
Well, he just has like a hate campaign or something with like VTubers. I hate anime women.
Less of a hate campaign, it's more like he treats VTuber fans as mental cases that need help because they need to go outside and touch grass, which, fair point.
How did, I guess, you or Sina or I guess the friend group cope with the fact that just happened?
Like I said, banning women from joining the fucking Discord.
That's how you guys cope? Avoiding women?
It was more to avoid this situation from happening because it did cause a pretty big schism, and it was less of a trust situation and more of an infighting situation when it came to us. Man, it's such a weird thing to talk about because it's so weird to say that a woman that you're not associated with drove a wedge in between two people, and that person is like, oh yeah, I'm not associated with her, but you know what? I take her side in this. I'm leaving.
Bruh, I mean that's what's currently happening still with the Froot fans or simps.
Yeah, but you know what? I will say it does taste pretty good in the sense of, I guess, justice, if you would, albeit really fucking late. But seeing so many people getting so many coverage on just memes that make fun of this situation that has happened, and like more awareness of what happened basically in the replies, people saying, oh, Froot did what? And then people spill the whole story, and it's like, wow, that's amazing.
I mean, to be honest, like if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't be as happy, if that makes sense. It's like a double-edged sword, like in my point of view. People do get to know what happened, but at the same time, I feel like the only reason people actually found out about it is because of that one motherfucker that you hate made a video on it, or a bunch of videos on it that has like thousands of views. That cat's motherfucker.
I gotta be honest.
So yeah, I feel like it's a double-edged sword. Really?
Most of the information comes from VT.
I mean, like the public ended up knowing about it. I feel like the public now knows about it. People outside of the 4chan community, if that makes sense, a 4chan community.
A lot of people would post like the screenshots, or they would post the memes that were popping up on VT. Basically, or K for that matter, because some of them were popping up on K. We're posting them in like Twitter replies and stuff, and that's how a lot of people were finding out about it.
Fair enough, but you already know how normies, I guess, or how a lot of people view 4chan. Just, oh, that's from 4chan? It must be fake. I gotta avoid it. Which is why I feel like the cats guy helped somehow. Which is why I feel like it's a double-edged sword.
I guess continuation of what I was saying, what would I have to gain from this? I don't really have anything to gain from faking it. What I do have to gain, though, is like, I don't know, the satisfaction of knowing that, like, at least the public knows of what happened. I'm not asking for her to fucking stop VTubing. I'm not asking her for anything like that. All I want is a fucking public apology.
Yeah,
that's
acknowledgement.
That's all I want. Literally a public apology and acknowledging of her wrongdoings, as opposed to gaslighting someone to saying that, oh, this person is lying, even though it's been proven with fucking proof that everything that she said in that fucking public Facebook post is a lie.
Did anyone else in like your server or the friend group confronted Fruit about it, like the situation?
Plenty.
What?
Actually, I can show you the DMs that I had with her, as far as I'm aware, current mod, where I literally told him, hey, tell her to apologize, if not to Cinna or, you know, to Desync publicly, at least apologize for the patches, because this shit's gonna blow up in her face. And it slowly's been building up, which is pretty funny. I mean, the whole situation itself is it's a whole shit show. The idea that you can put things behind you and act like it didn't happen when someone actually was affected. Yeah, sure. There are certain things where it's like the past should never be dug up. That's like 20 years past. Doesn't make sense for that. But when someone did something wrong, never face punishment for it.
Yeah, is there anything you would like to say to the people who don't believe the story of like Fruit?
I mean, if you don't believe it at this point, I really don't understand like what more you could want. Trying to get her to do a public apology would be the best thing ever. And if you can't understand that it's real at that point, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. That's it.
You want to add before we end this? Advertise or shill yourself, maybe?
I do not have anything to shill. I do not have a public face. I do not have anything to gain from this other than personal enjoyment.
I mean, maybe your friends. You want to shill, like, maybe one of your friends? Nothing? Nothing at all?
Out of all my friends that I could possibly say to go check out, I don't think they would appreciate the connotation of what this is attached to.
Oh, damn, it's a fucking commentary video.
It's a commentary on drama they probably don't want to be involved in.